Your new book is called Late, Late at Night, which I have read. You share a lot in here.
Scary thought, yeah.
You really do. And
I
I know there were times where you were wondering, maybe I shouldn't share all this. And there's family issues there, but you suffered depression as a kid, right? Attempted suicide at 17. Even admitted in your own relationship, major cheating problem that you had. Why do you think your wife has stayed with you for all these, and you just celebrated 30 years?
Yeah, she's the most amazing person, and we've met it all head on, and it's important to me that people understand that she's a goddess, and I'm the frog with the warts, and friends, we had some friends over, actually, and some of them brought the book over, and, oh, there she is, aw.
So cute.
And they brought the book over for me to sign, and a lot of them said it reads like a love story. Our story reads like a love story in it, because we've been through a lot, and the sexual issues in the book, some of them I changed some of the details so that someone couldn't come out of the woodwork and go, hey, that was me, so obviously, but mainly it's we met it head on. She's not one of those people that sweep stuff under the carpet. We got close to divorce a couple of times, and we decided in the end that we're better together than we are apart. And we know people who've split up. People always ask us, how have you stayed together for this long? Well, she's amazing, and we want to be together. And no marriage is clear sailing.
No, 30 years?
30 years.
I mean, come on. That's incredible.
This book, No Ghostwriter, you wrote.
I wrote this
book. Why did you want to write it? Was it cathartic for you?
It landed on the New York Times bestseller list this week, too, which I'm very proud of. But
it belongs there. It's incredible.
It's a page turner.
I'm a writer, and I originally wanted to be a writer, with prose when I was a kid. I thought, because that was the only thing I ever got any attention for at school, was my essays. And then music took over, and I became, and it kind of was channeled into writing songs. But now I have time to start, writing prose again. And I thought a good place to start would be an autobiography, just to show my writing style, and it's a story I know, and the publishers are very excited about it and want me to write more. So I'm excited.
Maybe a parenting book next.
What?
Maybe a parenting book, raising your boys.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll tell you this: you have been chased down many a hallway at a concert, getting off stage, girls screaming their faces off. I heard you had a photographic memory. Literally, if you look back like this, you can pick out a face as they're chasing you. Do you notice this face right
Nadine!
here?
I remember a hook.
That right there is Kit's assistant, Nadine. And Nadine...
chased you down in Hartford, Connecticut as a teenager, hung from the balcony, knew your set well enough to know when you're going to make your exit, dropped down, sprinted after you, and got the hook pulled out after by your security guard.
Check her for weapons.
Your fan base must spread a long time. Like you said, mothers and daughters and everybody. And now my daughters know your song from Glee.
That's great. I mean, and also because of, my turn on Californication and things like that.
I love that character.
Yeah, now guys are feeling safe to come to the show. I'm married, I've got kids, and so it's okay. And they're starting to get that I have played guitar for 40 years, so I have to have some chops. But so, there's been a great cross-section of people, and I'm very happy for that. And I'm very humbled by their attention that they still want to come and see me.
Well, one thing we like to do on Access Hollywood Live is learn a few things about our favorite celebrities.
So, Rick, 3 things that we don't know about you, and make them good, my friend.
Scintillating.
Scintillating, all right.
Tease us.
Revelatory.
I had plastic surgery at age 24. No, 23.
What did you have done?
Yeah, he did my eyes, underneath my eyes, but I went to this guy because I'd been forced into this teen magazine thing, and all the guys there were like 16 and 17, and my depression was pretty heavy on me at that point. I'm looking in the mirror going, and my depression is talking to me saying, you don't look as young as these guys. So I didn't know what to do, and I was desperate, and I went to Australia, and this is what depression can do to you. I went to Australia, I went to this doctor, and with my clear, unblemished 24-year-old face, and said, can you make me look younger? He goes, I think I can help you.
That's so ridiculous.
I went, and I actually thought it looked worse after he was done, but it was one of those desperation things, I felt I'd been forced into this teen thing and had to make the best of it.
The original Heidi Montag, 23 years old, getting the eyes done, and the doctor, how irresponsible.
It's not an unusual thing now, but it was pretty unusual back then.
Was it painful?
Yeah, it was painful mentally. I got up, woke up from the anesthetic, and I struggled to the bathroom and looked in. I looked like someone had gone. I didn't know what. They didn't tell me anything about what to expect. I looked like I'd gone 6 rounds with Tyson, and there were like sutures sticking out, and I was freaked out. And I called my brother, who's always been there for me, and he came pick me up and took me home. And I like 2 weeks to recover, then had to get back to
Right
to
back
LA,
at it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Jesse's Girl. Who is Jesse? What is this song about? Number 2.
I was having trouble writing around 1979, 1980, and I never thought I'd get another record deal. So I started going to stained glass classes. I had this idea. Well, maybe
Stained glass.
if I'm not going to be a successful musician, then maybe I'll be a really great stained glass maker.
Jumpstart the creative process.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, sure.
I've always tried to do creative things. I make model out of clay and everything and paint. And I met this guy, the reason for everything. I was there for about 2 months, and I met this guy, and he had this girlfriend, and I was like completely insane for her, and she wouldn't give me the time of day. So there's nothing better than sexual angst for 28, 29 years old for writing songs. So I went home and wrote a song called Gary's Girl. And
Gary's Girl.
Because his name was Gary. And it didn't sing right. I'm kind of going,
I wish that I was Gary's girl.
No, it's not right. And at the time, I was wearing a Ron Jesse T-shirt. Ron Jesse was in the Rams. He just died recently, actually. And it was spelled Jessie on the back. And that's where I got the name Jesse from, and that's why I misspelled it, because the male version of Jesse is Jesse. And I misspelled it because of Ron Jesse's name on my back and spelled it on the record Jessie.
Does Gary's Girl know that the song was about her?
Does Gary know? Gary's pissed.
Actually, nobody's come forward and said, and I would recognize her if she did.
We gotta find her.
Wait a minute. Did you ever close that? Did you ever?
What?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Why not? I mean, Gary's probably still with
Gary made a mean stained glass. Gary,
Yeah,
that going on.
Number three, third thing.
Wow. I went to Vietnam when I was 17, 18.
He got hoodwinked by this guy, the concert
1968,
promoter, and said, we need you to go over and put together like a USO kind of a tour situation. Sent him and his band over there to Vietnam.
Actually, I was just a guitar player. I mean, I was 17 years old, and our leader came to me and said, we're going to Vietnam and get paid. And I thought, wow, travel and money, how awesome. And when the rockets and mortars started coming in, and we're getting shot at by both sides, including the South Vietnamese army was like shooting at us at one point. After that, a beer bottle on stage is nothing. But we'd be playing, and we'd bunk with the GIs. We'd fly around in Hueys and get driven our gear across dirt roads. The day before, a Jeep had hit a mine. We'd get shot at going through the jungle, and we'd shoot everything. We went out with a 50 caliber machine guns and went up with Cobra helicopters and on missions that was insane.
Amazing.
And every penny that they made, they spent on hookers.
Yeah. Well, no, not true.
Not every penny.
Hookers and dope.
Okay, wait, that was dope too.
That's because it's all there. I mean, a war mentality is a completely different mentality, and that's why infuriates me when these politicians who have never been to war try to bring our soldiers up on charges that they don't understand.
Right.
The whole prison thing.
Right.
They don't understand the mentality of the possibility of dying every day.
No, but they understand the mentality of getting elected.
Yes,
or re-elected.
exactly. And
Politics.
Rick Springfield, man. Hey,
Rick,
your memoir,
so
Late
great
at Night,
to meet
in
you.
stores right now. New York Times bestseller list. Congratulations for being there. It's a great book.
It's a great book. Good luck. Can't wait to see your next book.
Thanks, man.
Keep it going with the